Okay. Fire away.
Any chance to take a look at them at all?
Mm-hmm. No, I've watched 3 games, and they're starting with their win over Purdue in the Big Ten tournament, where they really played very well and dismantled Purdue, which is a very good team. I mean, they're a 3 seed. I think they finished maybe second or third behind Ohio State. And they beat them by 17, 18 points. So they've got a lot of ability. Lucas is really a problem. He had 30 in that game, which was a career high this past week. I mean, he really shot it well, and they run a lot of offense, a lot of things to get him the ball. Now, Green is a very difficult matchup because he's a big guy who can step out and shoot threes. He's third in the Big Ten in rebounding. He's a hard matchup because he can face up, he can put the ball on the floor. He led their team in assists in conference, Draymond Green. So he's a very good player, and it's been a mainstay for those Final Four teams the previous 2 seasons. I think Lucas was the Big Ten Player of the Year 2 years ago. They come in, they'll bring Appling off the bench and play him some at the point and move Lucas over to the 2, where they're looking to run a lot of sets, a lot of offense for him. They have very good inside attack. They have a lot of size inside they can bring off the bench. They just keep bringing big after big at you. I really like Summers. Summers is very dangerous, another senior backcourt member along with Lucas who can really shoot the ball with range, very good three-point shooter. So they have a lot of weapons. Remind me of Michigan State. I mean, that's a good thing to be reminded of. You know what? Still haven't determined that yet. He'll be on him for sure some of the time, because when they bring Appling at the point and he moves to the 2, then it's a natural. But in terms of starting on him, I'm not sure yet. Yeah, it'll have to be Reeves. Mm-hmm.
They don't have anybody that big. They don't have anybody the size of Josh. Are you thinking that could be?
Nobody has anybody the size of Josh. So it's not just Michigan State. There's no one in the country. They've got Nix is a big kid, though. I mean, he's got to be close to 300 if he's not. And the guy who's also a hard matchup is Rowe. When they bring Delmon Rowe in the game, they'll play Rowe sometime. They'll play small, quote unquote, where they've got Rowe, who's has 3-man skills at the 5, and then also with Green, so they can cause matchup situations with their personnel. They have the long freshman number 5 who starts for them. His name escapes me right now. He's a good player. Who's number 5? Really long, athletic. Number 5, 15 is Summers. Payne, yeah, Payne.
Josh, do you see that as something you can?
Yes and no. They really pack it in. Their defense, against a lot of teams is very packed in. It's gonna. He's a very good defensive coach, and they run a lot of sets. I mean, I've always, really, thought that his system is a great one. It started with Judd Heathcote, and he's there's a lot of guys, and that's Montgomery, is in that same family of coaches up at Cal, along with Stu Morrill at Utah State, Blaine Taylor at Old Dominion. You go back and look, Lorenzo is at Washington even, because he played for Marv Harshman. So they really do a good job, and they're a very good rebounding team. That's something that very much concerns me. They outboard their opponent. That's always something that's been a staple of his teams at Michigan State, is really doing a great job on the boards, and their board play both on the offensive rebounding and allowing only 1 shot. They've always been up there in rebound margin in the country year in and year out. From them, they played very little zone. They played through a 3-2 zone, 4 possessions against Penn State. They used to do it on N-line OBs, not as much now. They're primarily man-to-man, but they could definitely play some zone. That's, part of their arsenal. Yeah, it's going to be a very physical game. That's how they play, and that's how we like to try to play. So it'll be a hard-fought, physical game. They NCAA officials for their tournament typically are you're getting the top guys in the country, so typically it's well officiated. Typically they let players play, which is how it should be.
Looking at them, they do have 14 losses. Can you chalk it up to playing a bunch of ranked teams, a bunch of good teams, or there has been some inconsistency there?
Also, their conference, you got to remember that I think there's 11 teams in the Big Ten, soon to be 12 with the addition of Nebraska. So of those 11 teams, 7 of them got in the NCAA tournament. I don't know the math that well, but isn't that even higher than the Big East percentage-wise? Big East has 18? I think they have 18. I think it's 11 out of 18 or 7 out of 11. I'm a Weber State grad, so all I can tell you is the Big Ten's pretty good.
How's the health of the team, particularly Malcolm?
Malcolm had a great practice on Saturday, so I felt really good about that. Now, his mental health, he's right in the middle of a final right now, so, that's tough. These guys have all been studying. In fact, we have a number of players that are actually taking finals at this very second right now. I think 5 of them. So they've got to deal with that. That's hard. We get the most important time of year basketball-wise combined with the most important time of this quarter. And, there's a lot of expectation and pressure heaped onto these kids. Yeah, we'll have a couple that will be proctored by Kenny Donaldson, who will travel with the team. He's our academic advisor. And that's been kind of done each and every year we've been in the tournament. That happens. Yeah, they take him. It depends on our schedule, but he works it out. You'd have to get the exact stuff from him, but we will have some proctored exams on the road and be sent back.
What time is the team leaving?
We're hoping to be wheels up at about 1:30, is my understanding. As far as I know. Is it chartered? I think it is, yeah. Oh, it always has been before, so, it is. No, they'll do it in a conference room that he'll set up in the hotel. We've had that done, and we've had it done. I remember one year we were playing Michigan State in Michigan, or maybe it was at Michigan. It was either Michigan or Michigan State. I remember Josh Shipp had to take one. That was the first quarter. So this happens.
Is there any way to offset the fact that you guys only have 2 players who've been here before? To keep your guys from not being nervous, have stage fright, things like that?
Yeah, I'm not worried about stage fright, nervousness. I'm really not. It's you can't manufacture experience that's never happened. These guys never played in the NCAA tournament, with the exception of Jeremy and Malcolm. So that being said, it is what it is. Where, on the other hand, they've been in the Final Four the last 2 years.
Seems to be a lot of discrepancy among the experts about who's going to win this game.
Oh, God, I don't know. The experts. I'm in no hurry here, right? I mean, we got everybody here. I mean, these guys came all the way from where they got to come and fight the traffic.
Is there one or two key matchups or areas that you think
I mean, obviously Lucas is a big one. I mean, he's our leading scorer, and we've got to do a good job with him. Green, I think, is really tough and hard-nosed, and we can't let him go crazy. We've got to do a good job with our bench and get productivity from our bench, both defensively, and do a good job coming in and giving us a lift. Summers is very capable of going crazy, and we've got to make sure he doesn't. I mean, they've got some guys. I mean, I love Dale Von Rowe. I mean, he's a kid that's had knee issues. He tore his ACL coming out of high school. I remember watching him coming out of. I mean, he's special. I mean, he's a very good player. So they've got a lot of weapons, tools.
You talked about Heath Cove a while ago. Much of the league, I think almost all those guys you talked about are in the tournament this year. What kind of college bred, well, except for Montgomery, what college bred those teams?
Yeah, it's kind of how they play and executing a lot of different sets and there's a lot of toughness and a lot of inside play. All those teams have focus on recruiting size and having depth and getting the ball inside and playing inside out and being a good rebounding team and outboarding your opponent and playing solid defense and not beating yourself. I mean, there's a lot more people involved in that family tree than I mentioned. I mean, there's a ton of them.
You watched the Penn State game?
Yeah, I did. I watched that. It was one of the games I've watched thus far.
When things aren't going well for them, what tends to break down?
I'll tell you what happened in that game. This little number 23 from Penn State hit 3 threes in a row, and they were tough shots, and they got some momentum. And I think that Penn State knew if they didn't win that game, they probably might not be in the tournament. That probably is the game that got them over the hump. And they just played really well, and they have seniors. I mean, Penn State starts 4 seniors, and 6 of their top 7 are seniors. But this little number 23 for Penn State made some big shots.
Talk about rebounding. You guys are both averaging 37 rebounds a game. How big is it for Reeves and Josh, and how do you have to have
Yeah, we've got to rebound well to have a chance to win on Thursday. There's no doubt. Both limiting them as much as we can to one shot and trying to work the offense boards. They send 4 guys to the glass every time. I mean, they block out. They are physical. We'll be working on blocking out. Honeycutt's had a great year. I mean, he was named first team All-League by the other coaches in our conference, and I think he leads the league in block shots. I think he's top 5 or 6 in rebounding. He's made some big shots and has really improved in terms of his perimeter shot this season. You got to remember he's a sophomore. I think he's had a great year. Yeah, yeah. In other words, anytime you're thinking any further past what's at hand in terms of your opponent, that's when you set yourself up for, disappointment, failure. So it's always, to me, been, like right now we have, Florida and UCSB on the other side of our bracket. And I do have 2 assistants that are responsible for watching all that film. So if we get to that, they'll have had a head start on it. And me and one of my other assistants are focused on Michigan State. But, yeah, I mean, I won't even think or look about anything else other than Michigan State. Not at all. I don't think so. I think it's just an understanding.
How big is it for you to have to travel that distance? I think last time you went to the East Coast was New York, and
Yeah.
so you prefer to play close.
Yeah, we would like to have been in Tucson. That'd have been nice. Nice for our fans, but you go where they tell us, and it's such an honor and a privilege to be in this tournament, no matter where they send you. And so we'll be excited to be there and looking forward to it. But it is a long trip. They say it's a 5-hour flight.
Any Florida connections or any?
I don't have any family there, but Ontario Lett played for me at Pitt. Was a great player out of Florida, and Chad Johnson, who also played for me at Pitt, lives down in that area. So I should be getting a call for some tickets from him sometime soon.
You coached in that building before?
No, I don't even know what building it is.
St. Pete ×1.
So I mean, how many does it hold?
20,500.
There you go. Yeah, I was wondering what the deal was. I didn't even know. The Final Four was held down in that area quite a while ago. And I forget where they had it then. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I went that year. I can't remember. That's been a while ago. They said it was really a hard Final Four. It was all so spread out. Everybody good? Okay, thanks.